Let's back to study the course of Introduction to Blockchain. We have studied other three topics. That was directions, course introduction, and introduction to blockchain. Now, in this moment, we will study the lesson 4. How have the title benefits of blockchain. Let's learn more about blockchain. Okay, you should now understand some of the basics of blockchain. You should also recognize some of the differences between blockchain, ledger, and distributed ledger. Now we will examine some of the benefits that blockchains provides. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the concepts of decentralization, transparency, and immutability and auditability as they related to blockchain. Increased trust, data security, and data integrity are some of the key benefits you can gain with blockchain. Decentralization, transparency, immutability, and auditability all support these benefits. What is decentralization? Decentralization means that each member of a blockchain has a complete copy of the data. Each member having a copy of the data protects against bad actors, improves disaster recovery, and promotes high availability. When each member has a complete copy of the data, an update to the data must be approved by the members. Bad actors are stopped. If a legitimate member or user attempts to delete the entire blockchain from a member, the other members retain the information, so no data is lost. If a bad actor tries to edit the historical data of one member, the other members will refuse to authenticate it. This denial prevents the false information from entering the blockchain. Additionally, modern application development recognizes that monolithic architecture aren't always efficient. Putting all in your trust in a large single bucket increases the risk profile if anything happens to that bucket. In the same way, keeping all your data in a central, large, and authoritative database or ledger increases risk of compromise or loss. Each member has a complete copy of the data set. If a portion of the network goes down and takes down a member with it, the remaining members are able to validate and accept updates to the data structure. When the network is back up, the isolated member will be updated with the newest data set. Transparency. What is transparency? Another piece of blockchain that increases trust is transparency. Transparency means that the information stored in a blockchain is visible to the members of the blockchain. Blockchain maintain a complete copy of all transactions, and that record is available to every member, making blockchain a very transparent technology. If we think in a agricultural example, at every step of the way, the people involved can see the whole path of the to date. So the shipping company can see all the information about when and where the blueberries were harvested. The distributor can see all that, plus information on the shipping company. Which truck transported the blueberries, who the driver was, how long the trip took, what the truck temperature was. Additionally, the grocery store gets to see all that information as well. all the way back to when and where the berries were initially harvested. And because all the members have all the data, the farmers who initially grew the berries can see when they arrived at their destination and how they got there. That level of transparency helps build trust because everyone is able to see what's going on with their product. Some blockchain technology, such as Hyperledger Fabric, provide data privacy as native mechanism within the blockchain. With channels, we can create separate channels of the blockchain to share the data that makes sense to share, without losing any of the previous information. For example, if the distributor had contracts with multiple restaurants, grocery stores, and wholesalers, they could brand the data off to each group. Each customer would be able to track all the way back to their harvest, but the purchase price and volume could stay between the distributor and the buyer. When you think of all the data available and the fact that everyone can see what's in the block on a public blockchain, transparency really helps increase trust in the data. However, that trust in the data is only really possible because of immutability. Immutability. What is immutability? Immutability simply means something cannot be edited and changed. Edited and changed. You can update the information in a blockchain by adding data, which will be added in a new block. However, once a block is part of the chain, the information in that block can be changed. The immutability of blockchain is directly tied to its decentralization. Even if someone were able to edit the information in an already written block and try to push that information into the blockchain, it wouldn't work. As soon as the change was made on one member and an attempt made to synchronize backup with the rest of the chain, the rest of the members would recognize a problem. Once the problem was recognized, the update would be blocked. This immutability builds trust by letting everyone viewing the information on a blockchain know that the information wasn't being tampered with. With traditional databases, if the master database gets compromised, it can be difficult to prove that the data was tampered with, and also to know with certainty what the correct data is. With blockchain, you can be sure that the data you're viewing was the original written data, and that nobody went in after the fact and modified it. Auditability. Auditability is another benefit of using blockchain. Auditability speaks to how readily available and accessible something is to audit. Blockchain, relying on the other benefits already discussed, is a very auditable platform. With blockchain's transparency, the auditor can investigate the blockchain and see all the transactions across time. They're able to know exactly what happened, when it happened, where it happened, and how it happened. With blockchain's immutability, a complete audit log for every interaction created. This can be shared with an auditor who knows the data wasn't being compromised. Auditors can also compare the data between two members to validate the authenticity of the data. Check your knowledge. Recall that immutability was a key difference between blockchain and distributed ledger. What benefit does immutability provide blockchain over distributed ledger? Once information is entered in a blockchain, it can be edited or erased. All the members of the blockchain treated as equal and have the full data set. Auditor can easily review the logs and information. Information is shared transparently among all the members of the blockchain. The correct response is the first one. Once information is entered in the blockchain, it can be edited or erased. Correct. That's correct. The key difference between distributed ledger and blockchain is immutability. Immutability means that once information is entered in the blockchain, it can be edited or erased. Lesson summary. In this lesson, you learned about some of the key benefits of blockchain. Decentralization means that every member has a full copy of all the information, providing high availability, quick recovery, and protection from bad actors. Transparency helps build trust because everyone involved in the blockchain can see the history. Immutability works with transparency to further build trust. The inability of a blockchain to be retroactively edited means that the data is exactly what was entered initially. Auditability of blockchain leverages the other benefits. An auditor has a complete audit log for every interaction with the data in a blockchain. They can also compare the data from different members to verify the data authenticity.